Mr. P Chidambaram, you talk about what is happening to India. We spoke about it's the Modi era. Why is it that most Indians, because ever since 2019, your book, most Indians haven't come to grasp with the fact on what's happened to India or what your idea is? Because we've seen this government sweep election after election, so clearly there is an abyss somewhere there.
No, I think people are concerned. People have begun to reflect on what is happening to India. But there is pervasive fear in this country. There's pervasive fear because the pillars of society are gripped by fear. And pardon me for saying that, the media is one of the pillars of free society. And the media today is completely gripped by fear. It's a different matter that practically all media houses have been taken over or will be taken over by one or two captains of industry. But that's one great damage that has happened to the media. But as a result of that, all of you are gripped by fear. I have had editors tell me, anchors tell me, that they have no choice in the matter. If they don't toe the line, they will lose their jobs. And in India today, which family can afford to lose a job? Can you lose a job? Can anyone here who's employed afford to lose a job?
Mr. P Chidambaram, you bring this up. So, I would say the fact that you are here on this stage saying what you are affirms the fact that India today is at least fearless in their journalism, which is our platform. And that's what we can speak for. But I'd want to ask you a question with that. Is it unfair to put the blame on the media? What's the role of your own political party in all of this?
I'm not blaming the media alone. I said all the pillars of society are gripped by fear. One pillar, you asked me, one pillar, and I gave the example of the media. But I'm willing to say political parties are also gripped by fear today.
Yours included?
Of course. Political parties are gripped by fear. Why do you see so many people crossing floors, crossing from one party to another? Because they are gripped by fear that if they don't fall in line, they and their families will be harassed. Maybe they have done something wrong, maybe they have cut a few corners, maybe they have got businesses which have cut a few corners. I'm not holding a brief for them. But the fact is, fear, drive. Greed is one thing, but leave out the greed as a factor. But apart from greed, many, many people are gripped by fear, and that includes politicians.
Mr. Chidambaram, I'll hark back to the UPA rule, because when you talk about what's happened to India post 2018, 2019, but what happened to India during the rule of your own government should also be talked about. You talk about the entire secularism issue, that being challenged. And I'm sure, and I do agree, in a lot of states it is being challenged, it is being questioned. There is fear in a particular community. But do you think it's also a function of what your own government did? Because there is such a big pushback. And you have to admit to it when it comes to what many would suggest was appeasement by your own government. No?
I strongly disagree. We may have done a few things that are wrong if you ask the question, what is the impact of it in India? But we have not done anything, and I'm willing to be corrected. We have not done anything which damaged India as such. We have done no damage to India. We have done mistakes. We are not infallible. We have done mistakes which have harmed the economy in India, harmed education in India, or harmed sport in India. Those are failures of governance. But we have not done anything. I'm absolutely sure Dr. Manmohan Singh did nothing to cause damage to India.
So you've got a very strong critique of this government, valid in many ways, questionable or questioned in others. What would be your critique of your own government? You said there were a few things you got wrong. What were they?
See, my critique of my government, it's 8 years now, so I can take some liberty, I suppose, to criticize a government that was in office 8 years ago. My critique of this government is we did not invest in a second generation of leadership. After Dr. Manmohan Singh returned to office in 2009, in his second term, I think he should have inducted a lot more young people with education, experience, dynamism, fresh ideas to give a new wind to the sail of the government. We did not induct enough people. We thought, well, this team is okay. This team has delivered 8% growth in the first 5 years. Let it continue. That was, I think, one major mistake. The second was we did not quite understand the political change that is happening in the country, and there was no management of the political changes. Dr. Manmohan Singh, as all of us know, was a very non-political person. He was completely apolitical when he came to office. He was a non-political person. He did not invest much of his time and energy in politics. That he left it to the party. And we didn't quite understand the political changes that were taking place throughout the country. We didn't read the political changes correctly.